Thanks for checking out ISTE Artifact number 5 from my portfolio. In this screencast, I'll show you the Digital Photography in the Classroom course that we revised from a 2-day in-person class to be a 6-week online course. This was done in order to, first off, give our students an alternative way to show their competency with digital photography rather than taking 2 days off of work or getting a sub and coming to our class, but to do it online. Here's a quick look at the class. This is the home page for the course that we'll be running this fall, but we did coincidentally run it twice this summer. So not only did we change the format of the course from in-person to being online with 6 weeks of work, but one of the nice benefits of this is that a lot of teachers decided to take this course over the summer because coincidentally they were on vacation or they wanted to create family movies and things like that, and this course gave them the venue to do that and a good timing during the year. When you look at the modules, you'll see that there are one module for each week. And I want to point out specifically in week 3, they are learning to curate digital online resources and Googling things. And just a side note here, I did go into the week 3 project that requires them to Google an image and find one that is of appropriate use for modification, and I used ISTE Educator Standards 3B and 3C in this activity because it is asking them to establish a learning culture that promotes curiosity and critical examination of online resources and foster digital literacy and media fluency, both for them and then eventually for their students. But it also goes over the safe, legal, and ethical practices of using these tools and respecting others' intellectual rights, and we talk about how to cite the pictures that they use. But the one assignment that is probably the most effective evidence of how we are providing alternative ways is when they do this week 6 final project. In the directions, I point out that they not only need to link to the Utah core standards, but also should link to the Digital Citizen and Creative Communicator standards for students. And then here in the final week 6 project at the end of the course, the culminating activity, I use the ISTE Educator 7A standard because the teacher is given the instructions that they can either select a tool from this course or they can choose a tool that they use best from outside the course as long as it supports student outcomes. So this allows for both voice and choice. And so that should also be included not only in my rubric of their project, but the project that they're creating for their own students. This is unique because most of our students are teachers. So then we go on to make sure the final project has an example and they select the appropriate tool, and I can use this rubric to measure up to 10 points. So we end up with some really interesting final projects submitted by our students, our teachers, exciting lessons from everything from science to exploring shapes in math. Very creative ways to use digital photography in the classroom. Here's one on instruments of the orchestra. And then we get all kinds of exciting final project examples turned in like everything from memes to posters that they make, even movies and slideshows. Here's an MP4 that we can then download and watch and grade in the course. But the real important thing here is we adjusted our course because of student needs, and then we make sure that their project has an opportunity for student voice and choice. Another example, this teacher turned in an Adobe Spark project.